John from JO Ventures Outdoors, and I'm here today with a knife refurbishing video, and this is for the Victorinox Executive. This is a 74 millimeter model. The Executive has the scissors, 74 millimeter scissors. It has this nice nail file with nail cleaner. It has the orange peeler with the slotted screwdriver there. I can't talk today. And so the orange peeler, and it has this main blade, of course, which you can see is in really rough condition. And then it's just got a lot of junk on it. And then this little pin blade here as well, which appears to be somewhat chipped there on the end, right there, and it has a lot of stuff on it. The scales on this are rough. You can see they're pretty scratched, and the blades I'm sure need to be sharpened, and these need to be polished. The blades need to be polished. It needs to be cleaned and oiled. I have the toothpick and tweezers, thankfully. This was a gift from Walter, a viewer, and he sent me a whole package full of knives, including the Huntsman that I absolutely love, this Tinker Small, and some scales and a bunch of other stuff. So thank you, Walter, once again. And so this is the project. He said, I thought that Executive would make a good project for you. Ooh, I love a good project. So we're going to work on this. So there will be different segments spliced into this video, and this is the first one, just to show you the condition of the Executive. So I'll be back with the next steps. And let me go through the steps, though, a little bit. So the steps will be, first of all, cleaning this. And I use Dawn dishwashing liquid in some warm water. I don't know how I'll do that on the video. You'll see here in a minute. And then I may just come back after it's cleaned, and do the next step. And then we will also need to do some work on the blades and cleaning off what looks like some tape residue and some things like that. We'll try to do that and polish those using some flits and potentially some sandpaper, different grits of sandpaper. But we will definitely need to use different grits of sandpaper on the scales to get those ending with flits, and also the drill with the polisher. So I'll show you some of those steps as well. So I'll be back soon. Okay, now we're back. I just took this to the kitchen sink with my trusty toothbrush here, and I used really hot water and Dawn dishwashing liquid. So what I do is I just get a bunch of Dawn on my toothbrush, get the water really hot, and just scrub this knife all down. Get inside the crevices here, all inside the track where the blades go. Get the blades really well cleaned, and you can see the main blade cleaned up very nicely. Victorinox is pretty easy to clean up most of the time. The stainless steel, so you've got just a little bit there. That'll come off with polishing, I think, or with a little bit of alcohol. And but most of the blades, even this really gunky small blade, it came pretty clean. The file's pretty decent. And on both sides, pretty decent there. So we got most of the grime off, and then I took still got some water on there, took an air compressor and blew out the water in the crevices all through it. We may have to wash it again after we do some polishing. The spring there might have gotten a little bit bent. Let's go back here. These scissors were not working all that great, and you can see they have more spring now. There's just a bunch of gunk in there. I will probably oil these two, and that'll help a whole lot. as well. So I have to close that to get this to close. So let's close this up so we don't potentially cut ourselves. So I think the next thing I'll do is work on the scales here, and what I do is use a series of grits of sandpaper. So I've got 2000 grit, you know, that's the finest. I've got 600, and I've got 1000. And some people go even more grits. They might have an 800 in between, but just this is what I have and what I'm going to try. And so I'm just going to try to polish these scales and get them to look a little better. Then I'll end with flits on the scales, and I've also used another product. Let me see if I can find it here. Moz. It's called Moz Metal Polish. Actually works really well. As you can see, I'm running out of it, so I got some flits. That'll work. And then I'll use a buffing wheel here on my drill, this buffing wheel. And I probably won't film that part of it because that's pretty loud, but then I'll come back and do this. So we'll get some of these things out of the way. I have an alcohol pad here or two that I can use to clean the blades even more when we get to the blades. But you can also use the series of sandpapers on the blade, sandpaper textures on the blade too. So let's start with this. We'll start with the 600, and that's what this is. And it's going to look really bad at first, but I just go up and down, just pick a direction here, this up and down like this, and just hit the scale with the 600. You could go more aggressive, I think, if they're really, really bad, and these are really, really bad, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm also not going to hit that emblem really. I'm going to try to go around it as much as possible because I'm afraid it's going to take it off, and hopefully it didn't start to take that off already, but it doesn't look like it. I think those are inlaid on most of these models. So I'm going to hit that side, hit this side. Helps if you lay it down on a surface. Sometimes I find a cloth, something like this, and just do this. Might have to do it a couple different times, but let's go back and forth. I want to go the same direction. See, I went a little bit wrong way. So, I'm not an expert in this by any means, but this usually works pretty decently. Okay, there's that. Then I'm going to go to 1000. This is 1000 grit. Hit it up here, hit the back side, just to, you can kind of tell when they're starting to get a little better. And then I've got 2000 grit. Smooth out those scratches even more. It's looking better. It's getting pretty smooth. This 2000, I think I can go over the emblem. People that are watching this might say, well, this is kind of boring. But if you know of some other techniques, you can let us know for polishing these scales. Okay, I think that's more. Yeah, it's starting to smooth out quite a bit. Certainly looks a lot better, I think. So there we go. Never done a video like this where I'm kind of like talking through it. Now I'm going to take the flits, and I've got an old handkerchief here. Put a little bit on there, and get some on the scale on both sides. And okay. Yeah, I might need some more sandpaper work on this back side. We'll just try it by hand first. I'll do a little bit of, it'll be a little noisy here. Let's see, I'm just going to lay it flat on this. It doesn't fly across the garage. Hold on a second. Let me move you up so you can see what's going on. Sorry about that. I'm just going to do this. Wipe that off some more. She's looking better. Okay. Okay, so that's the basic idea. I'm going to work on these some more, and I'm going to bring you back. But this is kind of where we're at the moment. We're a lot better off than we were before, but I need to work on this just a little bit. I don't want to just take all your time. So we'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, we're back here. So I spent quite a bit of time on this, and especially polishing the scales, more with the sandpaper grits. Also polishing this with flits and the Moz polish. I also polished each blade with the buffing wheel on the drill. Cleaned those some more, oiled them. Attempted to sharpen these. My sharpening skills are not the best in the world. This has a big chip down here, so I tried to get that evened out as best I can. I'll have to keep working on that. And I polished on that blade a little more. Had some scratches on it. I don't know whether I put those on there or they were there. This blade, I was a little bit disappointed in my edge. Quite a bit disappointed, actually. You can kind of see. Let's see if I can get this where you can see it. It's just a little uneven right down in here. But I did get a pretty nice shine on this blade and got it cleaned up real well. And it is extremely sharp. I've got some issues down here that is really just a reflection of my sharpening skills more than anything. I had that just a little bit too deep on the diamond stone I was using. I'm not great at freehand sharpening, so I don't think this will fit on the Precision Elite from Worksharp. I don't think this will fit on there, but this is sharp. So it's usable, as you can see. So I do have a nice edge on it. It's just not even. So But all these all came out nice. The scissors were the other concern. Come around here to the scissors, and they seem to work nicely. There we go. And they got a nice spring to them. I put some mineral oil in there. Got the toothpick and the tweezers and the toothpick in there. Polished this some more. It looks a lot better than it did before. What else is there? Show the orange peeler. Oh, the file. The file shined up really nicely. It's got a little bit of discoloration there, but I think that'll be all right. These are great files, by the way. Great files. So that's it. Victorinox Executive. Kind of a refurbishing here. I'm sure there are better ways to do some of this, but I'll continue to work on this a little more. But that's it. And I'll be using this. This will be a user, of course. And thank you for watching.